Hello, lovely ladies in the Goddess Creations for Women group watching live, and also those lovely ladies who will be watching the replay in the group or outside of the group. I am very excited because I am now going to be hosting my fifth interview in the sequence in the series of the 90-day Goddess Creations Empowerment Marathon. And the theme of this week is all about health. Health, of course, is a broad scope of things. And on this subject, we can talk about anything, can't we? So what I have done is I have found a lovely lady called Donna Riley to accompany me today to speak on movement. Now, I'm going to just share with you, just let me have that quick glance at how to describe Donna. All right, here we go. So Donna Riley is an intuitive, and I love the word intuitive. I do because that's how I communicate to. So Donna Riley is an intuitive movement coach and founder of the Orgasmic Movement. Now, let me tell you, I tried to tell you this last time when I was online and the internet wasn't working. I'm just going to do a big ooh on the word orgasmic movement. So Donna is founder of the Orgasmic Movement, and she is very passionate about awakening, inspiring, and empowering people. And she says people, but let's just make it women specifically. But I know that she wouldn't say people if she didn't mean it, right? So there must be men and women to actually raise their awareness, their purpose, their consciousness on the planet. Huge, right? Someone is already saying yay, hi, and let's bring them all in live. So someone is very enthusiastic as to what's coming on, and she said one person is saying orgasmic. I wonder what that is. Well, we are going to find out soon, aren't we? Now, Donna is going to be sharing with us about how your belief systems can affect your physical agility. Now, agility means movement, and also maybe the flexibility of your body. So I'm very excited to bring Donna on. I hope she is prepared. Woo! Let's do a big thumbs up and hearts and all over the place to welcome the lovely Donna Riley into the studio.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Donna. Good to see
Hi.
you.
Thanks.
I'm so excited to bring you on. Now, you have already raised the bar quite high with with the name alone of
Yeah.
the orgasmic movement.
Yeah.
What is that? And how scared should we be?
No, okay, that's so interesting because I actually say in some of my marketing, I'm like, don't be scared. um, the truth is I have witnessed, I've been a master Pilates teacher for years and I've taught all kinds of movement techniques. I was a dancer for years. And especially over the past like 4 or 5 years, I've noticed that people's bodies are more rigid. They're filled with more tension. They're filled with fear. I mean, there's a lot of heavy energies on the planet right now, and I see this in people's bodies.
Mm.
I'm specifically working with, I work with men and women in the studio, but my online programs are specifically with women. And so for a long time, I started to joke around with clients and say, I want you to get to that juicy feeling. I really want you to have that moment,
Ooh, hang on,
And
give me a moment, give me a
I
moment.
know.
Ooh. Have that juicy, give me a moment. I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. I
Yeah.
do. Just the word
Like,
juicy. Mm.
yeah, like to me, every second you're moving is an opportunity to experience the exact same feeling you have when you have an orgasm. And so when we move,
I'm sorry. Ladies who are watching this, I hope you understand what's going through me at this moment because I'm thinking, what? How can
yeah,
every movement you make be an orgasmic experience? Sorry, you got it. We're stupid here. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it.
yeah.
Make it our language.
I'm not saying every movement in life. I'm saying when you're moving intentionally, when you're doing whatever you're doing, whether it be your yoga, your Pilates, your dance, your whatever, if you do it from the mindset of seeking that experience, seeking really feeling the bliss in your body. And there's many ways to do that. I approach it from the tissues. So I talk a lot about fascia and the way the body is meant to function. Most of us, when I watch a body move, they're moving like a robot.
So fascia is the thing between the skin and the muscle. Is that fascia? Okay,
well, not
just
just
to help.
between the skin. Yeah, not just between the skin and muscle, but also basically it's the entire body's connective tissue. So it holds us
Ah,
together. It
okay.
interweaves between the organs, it interweaves between all the muscles, all the ligaments, everything, the bones. And so the way the body works, the bones float in the tissue. So we really need to address tapping into what it feels like to work with that tissue, with that fascia. And when we do that, we can experience a whole new state of being. And that's kind of one of the things I say. I want to take you from a state of doing to a state of being. I want you to be I want you to become the movement. I don't want you to do the movement. I want you to become the movement.
So
It's a
let's just
very different
rewind a moment.
experience.
Let's just rewind
Yeah.
a moment because we're going so fast. It's almost my head whirling and everything. And I'm sure that
Sorry.
some of the, I mean, someone has said, Corinne has said, "Are we going tantra?" I mean, so many things are just happening already just
Yeah.
in your introduction. So let's just bring it back a bit. Let's just bring it back.
Okay.
Now, you said something very significant, and that
Okay.
is you see that people have problems in their movement, in their how they move. How does that look like? What does it look like? Let's just bring it
So
back.
we've become more mechanical basically. So if you think about, most of our lives are spent with a great percentage of time doing what we're doing right now, sitting in front of a computer,
Ah,
sitting in front of our phones, right? And so the body has become, so the body forms in the shape that we hold it in the most.
hmm.
So if we spend extraordinary amounts of time sitting, our hips are tight, our knees are tight, our low back is tight, our posture is slouchy. So when that happens, you now can't move efficiently and effectively. And so over time, you get aches and pains, you get injuries, and it's all from that process.
And would you then say that? I mean, I'm just trying to envision this. Does that then mean that the blood does not get to the places, the organs, the muscles that it needs to be because it's not pumping enough? Is that how I may visualize this?
That's a very small piece. If you think of the fascia is like a rubber band, right? It has a lot of elasticity to it. So if that elasticity is in a shortened state all the time, right, then everything is restricted. Now, that's just not the blood flow. Blood flow is part of it, but I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent. But the other aspect to the fascia is what's something called interoception. Interoception is our sense of ourselves. So I'm sensing that I'm tired. I'm sensing that my back hurts. I'm sensing that I'm hungry. When the fascia gets dense and tight and is really locked down, we lose that ability to sense, which basically is what keeps us safe in the world and keeps us connected to ourselves, of our essence of who we are as a human being. When we lose that, we become like robots operating in the world. I go to work, I turn on my computer, I look on my internet, I do my
Mm.
social media. Oh yeah, I got to take care of my kid. I got to go do this. Everything's very robotic and mechanical. And so what I'm suggesting is, I want people to get, I'll say women because that's who we're talking to today. I want women to really get in touch with the essence of the beauty, power, and quality of their bodies related to movement, and how empowering that is for the bigger picture of their lives. So one of the things I say is, how you move is how you move through life. So if
How
you're
you move is
rigid,
how you move through life. I like that.
yeah. So it's like, don't you want to move through life with grace and ease and
Mm.
empowerment and bliss, right? And your state of being has a trickle effect over your entire world. So if you're constantly tight or in chronic pain, you're going to be kind of a little cranky and edgy and irritable. And guess what?
Absolutely.
Right? That affects everybody around you. You don't have as much patience. You're just like, oh, I can't deal with you right now, whatever. But if you have the experience in your body of literally experiencing the feeling of an orgasm from movement, you're in a whole different state when you walk out into the world.
And once again, I need to breathe just to consume all of this. I'm just wondering how are these lovely ladies who are watching it? I mean, someone has said, "When can I start?" You know, I mean, so you've already got them, lady. You've already got them, Donna. So, all
Well,
right.
the reason why I called it this too is because I did start to joke about it in the studio. Like, I really want you to have an orgasm moment. And the reason why that came to me is because I would witness what I was able to facilitate with people to bring them to that place. And so what I
Mm.
call is bringing them to the edge, right? To that moment where you're doing something and you think, oh God, I don't think I can do this anymore. Or, wow, it's a little scary, right? But then you start breathing, your breath starts to come up,
And
right?
you
And all of a sudden you're like, oh,
tip into it.
right? Right. And then that's the moment where most people quit, right? Their mind jumps in and their mind says, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm going to get hurt. Oh, no, this is whatever. And that's where I'm jumping in and I'm breaking that pattern and I'm saying, whoa, 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 stay with it. Take one more breath. Stay with me. I got you. Right. And then all of a sudden they bust through that other edge and they're literally like, oh my God, that felt so good. And you're
Oh
like,
my
oh, okay, cool.
goddess. Oh my
Right.
goddess. I mean, I'm trying to have a structured conversation here, Donna, really, but this is pretty harsh on me. I mean,
All right, I'll shut up now.
I mean, someone has even said yes, yes, yes. Oh, I'm there. I mean, you got us, man. Darn. All
Okay,
right.
that's my tagline, getting to the yes in movement. Like,
Mm.
yes, I want it. I mean, what would it feel like, right? To like move from that place where you're, and granted, yes, sometimes is it hard? Sometimes is it challenging? Does it get you into out of your comfort zone? Of course.
So,
But
how did you end up on this journey? Let's just keep this little bit, then bring it a
okay.
bit short. But how did you even start on this journey? Because we just delved right into the orgasmic part. How did you even start
Yeah.
on this journey? What was your awakening moment in this?
Oh, that's a great, I don't know if there was a
Ooh,
moment.
many years ago.
Yes, I know, right? So like I said, I was a dancer. I've
Yeah.
always been very in touch with my body, but at the same time, a little side note, one of the big parts of my story is that when I was 12 years old, I had a near death experience.
Oh,
And it wasn't until I was 47 that I went through kind of an energetic meltdown and became aware through a healing process that I was really pissed off for being on the planet. And I went into some deep grief and deep awareness around, wow, I actually really haven't fully been here for 35 years because I was just pissed. And looking back, my whole life started to make sense. Dancing and movement was the only way I felt on the planet. And it was the only reason why I wanted to be on the planet. It kept me centered and grounded.
you
And
know that many
when I,
women have that too. Many women
yeah,
feel that they don't belong on this planet.
right.
So this is thank you for sharing this vulnerable bit
Yeah,
too, because that does
yes,
help many women who are watching this as well and have that form of recognition. So continue. Yes.
yeah. Yeah, and then on top of it, I was a dancer, but I was always criticized for being too fat. So that took its toll on my self-esteem and my confidence, of course. And when I went through this awakening at 47, and then I started to go through menopause, so that was like, whoa,
Oh,
hormonal changes, weight gain,
but you
like
have no
crazy, crazy.
control over that, do you?
No. So what it became is, for the first time in my life, I started to think about and reflect on what makes me feel good. So if I'm actually being here with a desire to be here, how do I create my life in such a way that I feel good? And the starting point for me is always the
Ah,
body,
yes.
always the body. And when I started to reflect on that, I was aware that my journey in the past, and what I still witness with a lot of women, is basically when they're exercising or moving, they're beating the shit out of themselves, quite frankly, right? They're
Mm,
going in and doing this CrossFit craziness, all this hardcore masculine kick ass whatever. And not to say that that's bad, we all need to get out some adrenaline and work hard and bust through stuff, but if that's the only way you use your body, if that's the
yeah.
only way you move,
Yeah.
then it's very harsh. And what are you really up to?
Yeah.
So I know with myself, and so I'm not judging other people, what I did all in my 20s, I literally, when I was working out, I was hardcore. But most importantly, what really mattered is my mindset was, you just ate those cookies, you get your fat self on that Stairmaster, right?
And so that
Like,
would make you shut down in your body. Is that what you're saying? This
yeah,
inner conversation.
yes, exactly. So it's like our mindset, that belief, that kind of mindset causes restriction, right? It causes the body to like hunker down, right? Like,
Mm.
I got to protect myself, or I got to fight, and I got to be ready to, like, so someone doesn't hurt me. The tissue responds to that mindset. Everything gets restricted. Think about it. When you're fearful, what do you naturally do? Right? Whereas when you are excited or feel good, you're open. You're like, oh, my breath is going
Mm.
and my body is open and I feel so good, right?
Take
So
deeper breaths even.
yeah,
Yes, so the breath
exactly.
just
And that,
goes low into your body.
Right. And that naturally happens. So when I'm talking about moving from the perspective I'm talking about with my brand, the breath naturally comes up because we're mindfully and intentionally using the body in such a way that all of a sudden you'll get to that point where I say the body starts to breathe itself rather than
Right.
me thinking about breathing.
So how do we now, how would you connect with us in this sense of letting us have a taster of
Right. You're tricking me here.
give us a taster of the orgasmic experience. Give us a taster of the orgasmic movement, Donna.
Oh my goodness, girl. I'm sitting in my car. How am I supposed to do this
Well,
right now?
no, close the
Um,
windows.
they are closed.
Well, that's it.
They are closed. So the starting point for me is the breath, like you said. So what I suggest, and this was like part of what I put down for the activity, the breath is the basis of expansion and contraction in the body, right? Expansion, inhale. Contraction, exhale. Did you
Hang on.
consider,
So
right?
the stomach goes in when you're exhaling.
I'm not going to even tell you what to do. See, that's the other thing too. I shouldn't have to tell you how to breathe, right? Like we have
Mm.
all these techniques. That's
Yeah, yeah.
great. And I use techniques in my program, but for right now in this purpose of awareness and tapping in, just take a gigantic breath in and just notice the expansion of the body. Where does your breath naturally go? For some of us, it'll go directly to our chest. For some, it'll go to your belly. For some, you might feel it up in your neck. So we're just observing. If I take a big breath in and I expand, where is the expansion happening? Through the nature of that, you will feel the contrast of where there's not expansion.
Ah, I
So when I
see.
right, so if I take a big breath in and I feel it all in my chest, but my low back feels tight or my shoulders feel tight or whatever, now I'm aware what's not expanding.
Ah.
So I start to get feedback what I need to open up.
And can that even be the lower back? Let's say. I mean,
Absolutely.
because there aren't, there aren't lungs in your lower back, and yet you
Right.
might feel the tension of where the rest is expanding and the lower back isn't moving. In that, does that mean
Exactly.
anything to you, or what do we do with that awareness?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So, and I don't know how deep you want me to go into this, but we're
Yes,
back
we
to the
do.
fascia again. The fascia is an entire network of tissue. It's like a gigantic spider web. And what we're seeking in the body to have grace and ease is what's called tensegrity. Tensegrity is a combination of tension and integrity. So instead
Consecutive.
of so instead of looking at muscles, which is a very outdated modality of looking at movement, because that's not really how the body works, we're looking at the entire system, that gigantic web. And so when one area of the body holds too much tension, another area is going to be too lax,
Ah.
right? And so therefore we get weaknesses and imbalances, which leads to pain and injury and da 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 da. So going back to the low back imagery, so you can start with just mindfulness. So as I take a deep breath in, I can imagine that breath going into that area of tension. And I can imagine that expanding the tissue. Think of the tissue like a balloon. So if I put a balloon in that area and I inhale, I blow up that balloon to
Hmm.
create expansion,
Yeah.
right? Now remember the expansion is also the feminine energy.
Okay.
Contraction is masculine, expansion is feminine. So when you start to bring in the feminine energy more into the body, there's an innate nurturing quality. Because what is the feminine? Nurturing, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Flow, right? Ease. So you start to bring in that energy as well. And then we can go deeper into using some mindset with visualization and things like that. But I really encourage you to just be aware, and also be aware that the expansion and contraction of the breath is the starting point of movement. So what I suggest, and let's see, I think I can do this a little bit here from where you can see me.
Sure, you can.
Um, if I inhale and exhale and just do it like 4 or 5 times, where does my body naturally start to move? So if I just let the breath, it's like the inhale just kind of pushes my body in a new position and the exhale melts my body in a different position, right? So just
Oh,
where does my body want to move? Just from breathing, just from big inhale. Big inhale. Oh, maybe my shoulders want to shrug. Big exhale. Oh God, I
And
just need to
ladies
release my
watching
neck.
this, please join in and just go
Yes.
with it. Just breathe
Right.
in
Yeah,
and see how
definitely.
your body
So
relaxes.
inhale, you'll feel the body expand. You might feel it grow taller. And then exhale, it's like, oh, let it go and melt and release. Right. And sort of let that be the drive, the impetus for like, what does my body want to do? Right. Like, where does it want to flow? Right. And then, oh, wait, oh, I wanted to go there, but something's stuck. Okay, let's hang there for a minute. Let's hang there. What can we do? How can we breathe into that? How can we release? And then I've got release techniques and other things too, but this is the starting point of everything.
Well, actually, it's very
Related to
interesting.
movement.
I was doing this movement with you, and not even so much the movement, more the awareness of the breath going in and out. And I
Yeah.
wasn't doing so much movement, but I felt on my shoulder, I felt that it got stopped there. So
Yeah.
I now know, I guess, I'm just asking, is that do I do this exercise and take my awareness to that spot and make it seem as if I'm blowing up a soft balloon there to give it more space in the tissue? Is that the summary of what you just said?
Yes, that's one tool. Yes, yes.
Mm.
So like when you're by yourself, that's one tool you can do. And there's many other things. We have little props to use to release things. I can show you movement patterns. But just yes, for right now, where you're starting is that, because honestly and truly, what I've experienced, most of us have really, really lost touch with our bodies in terms of the subtleties and the
And
nuances,
that's
right? We're very aware if the body is screaming at us, like,
yeah.
oh my God, my back hurts.
But then we're sick, actually. So we
Right,
need to know what
exactly.
our body needs before we feel sick. Someone has said something. I'm going to see if I can bring this one up. Look, someone said it feels sexy. So I'm just sharing that. I had to share that one. It feels
Yeah. I
sexy is
mean,
what someone said.
and honestly, that's another piece of my personal journey and why I call the orgasmic movement. Because quite frankly, part of my not being here on the planet and being self-conscious and having low self-esteem and being told I was fat all the time and all that stuff, I never felt like sexy.
Yeah.
I was shocked when anybody was attracted to me, like
Oh,
shocked.
yes. And
So
so
I
many of us
really,
have that. Yes.
yeah. And my intention for myself too, beyond just being on the planet and accepting it, was I want to be one of those women that walks around feling fucking amazing
Oh.
and feeling like people desire me.
So
Like that's what
actually,
I want.
So actually, I'm just going to warn you, Donna. I'm just going to warn
Okay.
you. I'm going to ask you 3 tips for us to take home with us to do in the now
Okay.
after having watched this video. I'm not going to post them all because otherwise I'll be writing too much. People have to watch the video to get the tips. So just prepare yourself so that you. But I would. So what I'm trying to say is that these tips, to be able to just walk through the street, just breathing with awareness to all of your cells, can make you feel orgasmic, let's say.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in that, you are radiating the energy, not necessarily to attract another. Let's just be very
Right.
well aware. Feeling sexy, ladies, does not mean that you are necessarily out to get the male or the female into your life.
Right.
Feeling sexy is the self love that you give yourself. And so
Yeah.
that is therefore a beautiful exercise to do in your own empowerment journey. So I just wanted to say that and bring it on. Yes. And also
Yes.
someone said, and if you feel so good, how that will also be, other people will then react to you, depending on how you feel. So that's what someone said. So thank you for posting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So when I went through that period of time, all those years, one of the big overarching themes between the ages of 12 and 47 was I was kind of pissed off all the time.
That's a long time to
And
be pissed off.
yeah, and it's a long time to not want to be here.
And it's a long
And
time to
so,
yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, that's a long time. I went through some serious grief for a couple of years after realizing that. And
Yeah.
so the point was I had never thought about like living from that place of what feels good, what satisfies me, what, makes me feel most alive in my body. It never even occurred to me. I just did what I had to do, got through life and, whatever. So yeah, it all relates. It all
So
relates
how
for
has
sure.
your life changed since then? Have to putting this orgasmic movement into your, oh, I gotta say it again. How did your life change in being orgasmic in movement?
Yeah.
I'm just teasing. I'm just enjoying it.
No, I love it. I love it. I love it because honestly and truly, I was I was really scared. I had to work with a coach who helped me say, Donna, you say this all the time, just call your brand Orgasmic Movement. And I was terrified. I was like, I can't own this. This is, oh my God, people are going to think I'm just having sex all the time. Like, she's like, no, when they hear you talk, you can own it. Like, anyways, the point is, how's my life changed? The biggest thing, sorry, I know I'm a big chatter. The biggest thing for me is, how do I say it? It's like truly owning my experience in my physical body, which means on the planet, knowing that if I walk in my divine feminine from owning all that power, then I can create my life how I want to create it. And I can do so knowing that it's not always going to be easy, but I'm going to be in the flow. I'm going to be aware in any moment this is divine. It's happening for a reason. How can I get the support that I need? How can I be in community? How can I, move through it?
And this is what Goddess Creations is also about. That this owning the full goddess being that you are in all of it, the whole empowerment journey. So wonderful. Right. So how would you? What tips would you now give us to put in our pockets and to practice at home? 3 tips or 3 whatever. Or it doesn't have to be 3. Just just something that we can work on to become more juicy and orgasmic or goddess at home.
Yes. Can you imagine what the planet would be like if all women tapped into this part of ourselves?
And you know what it would do to the men.
I know.
In fact, we'd have to have earplugs because we'd all be going, we'd have sexy mode. I'm joking. But that would be wonderful. That would, would really raise the vibe. So come on with your tips. What would you like to share with us?
So the first one was what we did earlier. So I want you to just practice deep breathing with a very mindful, open mind. So with that feeling of discovery and exploration. So as you're breathing, your mindset is, what does my body want to tell me today?
Yes.
Where does my body need extra love today? What is my breath teaching me in this moment?
Yes.
Where does my body want to move? So, and really also exploring what I call your edge. So inhaling to the point where you think you can't inhale anymore, and then exhale beyond the point where you think you can exhale. So what you're doing now is you're getting to those, right? Without hyperventilating.
Yeah.
When you get to those end ranges, that's where the good stuff happens, right? That's where the good stuff happens.
That's when the tissues start doing things that they're not used to doing.
Yes, and the mind gets challenged, right?
Brilliant,
now the mind is your mind. And here's the thing, ladies, I'm here to tell you. Here's the number one thing you can do when you're exercising on your own or trying to move things on your own right now. Anytime your mind jumps in and says, I can't do anymore, take a pause and ask your body, do you want more? Can you do more? Right? Because 9 times out of 10, the mind jumps in and limits you way beyond what your body's capable of.
And is that where breath comes in, so that we can pass that? The taking the pause, the having the inner conversation, because that's what you're saying. Is that what you're sharing with us is that your belief system determines what your body does and feels like. And I'm just going to share that. I'm just going to share what I don't know if I can show it because it's quite a bit of text. So I don't know. Yeah, that's a lot of text. But, and this is okay. This is Miriam. And Miriam, she says that, that she also does yoga and breathing, and that she looks at her body and she dances. And, awesome. And, even if you are less mobile, to put it mildly, if you have, let's say, a handicap, all of this awareness can really make your body more supple, even if you are officially, handicapped, less. I don't know what the official wording is for that nowadays, but, if you are, that can help you, no matter how limited your body may seem or be on the outside, that you can always stretch your boundaries. So thank you for sharing about that, Miriam. Thank you. So
that mindset thing is huge. I mean, I can't tell you, one of my biggest things that I love to do is people come in, they literally list all their limitations. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm literally taking it in like it's white noise, because I'm like, oh, I cannot wait to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's simply that, unfortunately, doctors and physical therapists put upon us,
they
you can't do this, you can't do that.
You're limited, it's over. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also support groups can also be like that,
Yeah, absolutely. So my thing, and I don't tell them to their face because it would scare them if I said, "Oh, I'm going to prove you wrong." I don't get into that. But it's more I'm thinking like for me, I'm like, "Yes, I cannot wait." Like I
So
cannot wait.
I know that many women cannot wait now. So I would like to know, where can
Yes.
we find you, Donna?
Yes. So I have a business Facebook page, Orgasmic Movement. I also, my personal Facebook page is Donna Riley. So I post us on that one more often these days. I'm on Instagram, Orgasmic Movement. You can find me there. And then email is orgasmicmovement@gmail.com.
Wonderful. And thank you. Well, I think there's a lot more that you could say, but I also know that time is a challenge at the moment. So thank you for your time
Yeah.
and for sharing so
Yes.
generously. I really enjoyed the conversation, and I know that many women enjoyed the
Good,
juicy talk
good,
too. So,
good.
ladies, when you are watching, just say hashtag replay or whatever, make that connection. You know where to find Donna. And I thank you very much, Donna. So, ladies that are watching
Thank
live,
you.
ladies that are watching in the replay, and Donna, thank you very much for holding space and being in this orgasmic space with us.
Thank you.
We look forward to
It was so
connecting
much
more.
fun.
So thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Yes, someone else is saying,
Okay.
wow, this was powerful. So I will thank you very much, and I will see you, lovely ladies, on the next video. Bye.